Hey travelers, welcome to Third Wish Travel. My name is Brian and this is my wife Krista, and we are travel agents. We are the founders of Third Wish Travel and we specialize in Disney and Universal vacations. Our wish is to set you free from worry and stress so you can have a great vacation, and we just want to give you insight and help you with any questions that you might have regarding Disney or Universal. So if you're new around here, please consider subscribing. It's totally free to do and it really just helps support us and keep this dream alive. Today's video, we're actually going to be discussing the new Disney dining plan and whether it's actually worth it or not, and some of the pros and cons. So let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna do things a little bit different with this video. We actually wrote out all of our thoughts on the Disney dining plan. We're gonna go over what they actually have on the website. We're gonna be reading a few things. I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see it as well. But just know we're gonna go through all of this for you and just give you some of our thoughts and process of whether we think it's worth it or not for you. So here we go.
Okay. So the Disney dining plan is available for booking for Disney World vacations starting January 9th, 2024. So you can book it now, but you won't actually have a chance to use the dining plan until after January 8th. And there are currently two types of plans. We have the quick service dining plan and then the dining plan. So we're going to talk about each one, starting first with the Disney quick service dining plan.
So this one has two quick service meals. All right, so this isn't going to be your traditional like sit down with characters. This is just fast food. They have plenty of these options when you're in the parks, but that's really what it is saying for this one.
And a quick service meal is an entree and a beverage. So you do get a drink with it, which is good. Mm-hmm. Next up, there will be one snack or non-alcoholic drink per night of stay. Now, the snacks are a little bit different than they used to be. Well, we don't know for sure if they're different or not, but the website
only lists a couple things. So the website really just says you could do like ice cream, popsicles, things like that, popcorn, fruit, a single bag of snacks. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Maybe like gummy bears or something.
Like a bag of chips or like a bag of pretzels or something like that.
But I know in the past it used to be that you could get like cinnamon rolls, and I don't necessarily know if that's what they're including in this, is those types of like bakery snacks. But we'll put up what's on the website. Until they tell us different, this is what I would say the snacks are gonna be, is just popcorn, ice cream, and like bags of gummy bears or stuff like that.
I think we got trail mix one time. We brought it in line. But yeah, so we don't know for sure yet, so we'll keep you updated if we hear more about that, but we probably won't know until January 9th, whenever you're in the park and looking for it.
You're also gonna get a free, well, it's not really free because you're paying for it, but it's a refillable mug that you will get. It's a Disney mug. You get this at the hotel or resort that you're staying at, and you can use it at that hotel. And so you can get free soda, basically.
Yep.
Refills.
Only at the hotel. But you get to bring it home, and it's super cute in the cabinet. Oh, we should have brought it out.
I can go get it.
We'll go get it. We'll go get it.
I'm back.
He's back. Oh.
There we go.
He's back.
All right, so this is the mug that we got the last time we stayed at Pop Century, and it's cute. It's got a little Mickey that you can open up, and that's how you can actually drink out of it. So yeah, there's a chip that's at the bottom, and you just set it on the soda machine, and it fills it up. So it's convenient, it's nice. Instead of having to pay $5 for soda, you get this with your dining plan, and then you get free soda.
In the resort hotels.
Yes.
Not in the park.
You cannot take, I mean, you could take this into the park, you're just not gonna get soda.
You have to get the free stuff in the park. So the Disney quick service dining plan, that's pretty much it for what you get. The two quick service meals, one snack or non-alcoholic drink, and then the refillable mug. So beverages are included with each meal, but guests over 21 can actually substitute their beverage for beer, wine, or cocktail, which I thought was a surprise.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you get your money's worth.
That is, I would say that's where you get your money's worth, versus if you are just gonna get a glass of water, it might not be worth it, right? So make sure that you're, if you're gonna get alcohol, get alcohol, and spend your money that way.
Yeah.
So.
But it's beer, wine, or cocktail, so be sure to ask your server, because those like cups that, or like there's drinks that come with like the glass cubes or like the fancy things. Those could be considered like souvenir, and it doesn't qualify for the plan.
Correct.
So it would just be like beer, wine, or a regular cocktail. Not
just in a regular cup. Yeah.
Right.
So pricing for this, roughly, you're going to be spending about $57 a day per adult and $24 a day per child. All right. So again, this is just the 2 quick service meals that you get for the day. You get your snack each day, and then you get the mug. Right. So if you're staying, let's say 4 nights, each guest for the quick service meal, you're going to end up having those 2 every single day and then the 1 snack.
Right.
So it adds up over time. You can use it all at once as well. It can carry over, so you don't have to use it all on the same day either. It is one of those things to think about. Is that worth it for you and your family?
Yep. So they do carry over, but they expire at midnight on your checkout date.
Yeah.
And real quick about the child is that's guests 3 to 9, and they must order from the child's menu. So if you have a very sophisticated child who wants to eat what mom and dad wants to eat,
right,
might want to think about
or
it.
if you're an adult that likes eating the children's food, like portion, just know if you order off of the children's menu, they'll still charge you for an adult price, and it's not worth it. Right?
Think
just
about it.
Get your chicken nuggets in an adult form, and you'll be good. So.
Okay, I think that's it for the quick service dining plan. So we are gonna hop on over to the dining plan.
The OG.
Which, why do they not call it table service dining plan?
I don't know. They want you to think
Disney.
that this is the only dining plan, but there is a quick service dining plan maybe. So when you think dining plan, you think
Tricky.
the dining plan.
Shut up and take my money.
But I don't know. That's what I think. I think it's just. It's the
I think
OG.
that's a good
It's the
theory.
original, Yeah.
Okay, so for the dining plan, you get 1 table service meal per night of stay, 1 quick service meal, 1 snack, and then the resort fillable mug.
Yeah.
So for the table service meal for breakfast, it's 1 entree and beverage, or 1 full buffet or family style meal and beverage.
Yeah.
Brunch, lunch, and dinner, it's 1 entree, 1 dessert and beverage, or 1 full buffet or family style and beverage. So it kind of depends on where you're going. Like,
Yeah.
we kind of know the ones that are buffet, you know, or like Hollywood and Vine, Crystal Palace, stuff like that. But it is interesting to know that for lunch and dinner, you get an extra dessert. So pro tip, you might want to use your table service for dinner and get an extra dessert versus breakfast.
That's how you
where
get your money's
don't
worth again.
Get a dessert.
Yeah.
And now reservations are encouraged for table service meals, and we obviously at Third Wish Travel encourage you to book your dining 60 days in advance. Last thing you want is to try to go to a table service to use your last one, and you can't because you can't get in because you didn't have a reservation.
Yeah.
So reservations encouraged. Guests 3 to 9, again, children's menu where available. Meals are non-transferable between party members.
Yeah.
So you have to use yours and only yours.
And then gratuity is not included. So you
Right.
will have to actually pay a tip when you're doing these big sit-down meals.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, what else? Okay, something big. So for Cinderella's Royal Table, Princess Storybook Dining at Artist Point, and Be Our Guest, you have to use 2 table service meals for those. So
Just to kind of process it, right? So again, let's say you're doing a 4-night stay. As one adult, I would have a total of 4 table service throughout that week. But if I wanted to go to Cinderella's Royal Table, I would have to use 2 of those just to do that one experience.
Yep.
Now, personally, like in my opinion, I think that's worth it because,
yeah.
I mean, you're going to be spending roughly that much money anyway on an experience like that because this is where you get to see all the princesses. They come to your table. It's a big family thing. It's fun. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But you are using 2 of your table service meals for that whole week. And so it is something to think about. Like, is that really worth it for you and your party?
Now, we would do that because we don't do a table service meal every day. We tend to space ours out. Because table service meals, if you didn't know, could take a long time, especially character meals. So if you're only in the park for Magic Kingdom for that one day, you know, we kind of spread us out. But
it could be something that maybe you're not into the whole character dining meals, and so you're going to use, you know, 1 table service every single day, and that works for you. That's awesome. But yeah, this is definitely something that when you book with us and we're planning your Disney trip, we're going to make sure that we know exactly what you want. And with a service like this, if it's worth it for you or not, based off of what you desire. But in general, you're always going to have your wallet with you, hopefully, that you can just pay for any food or any extras. If you always want to go somewhere else, it's not like you're limited just to this dining plan. You can always spend your money anywhere else. So,
yeah. So pricing for this one is $94 per adult per day, roughly, and then roughly $30 per child per day.
A little bit more.
A little bit more, but if you use it correctly, you could spend $100 a day at Disney.
Exactly, and that's what I was gonna say. Is like, I think on average we spend probably about $100 per person per day eating at Disney, and that's including, you know, those quick service meals as well as snacks and things like that. One of our recommendations though is if you can bring your own food into the parks, you can do that. Bring, you know, some granola bars or whatever that's gonna help, you know, fill you up so you're not eating too much. But it can seem pricey up front, but there's a lot of pros to this. So we're gonna go over that in just a second here. So
actually, let's go over it now.
Okay, yeah, let's go over it right now.
Let's go over some pros. Pro 1, convenience of having your meals already paid for. So let's say you are planning your 2024 vacation. We can definitely book that for you, get you on the dining plan, and then you can be paying for everything over the next year or however long. And so you won't have a big fat credit card bill when you get back from Disney because you paid for your dining ahead of time, which would be nice. Kind of like all-inclusive, but not. You kind of have to have that mindset of, you know, all-inclusives. You pay for everything up front, so you have less of a bill when you come home.
Yeah. There's also a lot of great restaurants that are included within this. And so, you know, you're not going to be missing out on something. But it is one thing to consider is going back, think about that you will have to be spending 2 table service for some of those bigger experiences. And so that is something to think about. But knowing that you are paying all of this ahead of time, it is very convenient and nice to have that.
Absolutely. And the last one is kind of like a Third Wish travel pro tip that we did when we did the Disney dining plan back in 2019. So what we did was we had 2 different ones and then we actually shared. So for instance, we would use my quick service for breakfast and then we'd share it, and then we'd use his quick service for lunch and then we'd share it, and then we both got
sharing the meal, right? So like that's the thing is you can't transfer your credits to someone else, but there's no one telling you that you can't use one of your quick service meals and then just share that food with your significant other or your kids or whatever, right? Now, it just depends on if you're that type of person or if you're a total Joey from Friends and you can't share your food, then hey, you know, it's on you. You're going to be eating your whole plate. But that's something that, like, especially in the past, and this is where we're not sure yet how Disney's doing snacks, but some of these snacks were really big that you could share a snack, and it was considered breakfast for us to go get a cinnamon roll, and that was a snack, and then we would share that. But, you know, again, it's something that's kind of just a pro tip to think about is that you can always share your meals and then you spread it out a lot.
Because some of those quick service meals, like Pecos Bill, you know, and like the tacos and stuff like that, they can be pretty big.
You get enough
portions.
food there,
And I just like to eat throughout the entire day, like little here and there. I'm just like a snacker.
Well, and that's something.
So it worked out for us.
Yeah, exactly. So depending on where you're at, like Epcot, you know, you might want to be going around to different places and just trying out different things. So being able to share with your, you know, your party or group, that's, you know, that's something I would recommend doing.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some cons. First one we have, if you don't use all of the meals and snacks, you could be losing your money. So again, they expire at midnight on the day of checkout.
I know my mom back in the day, like whenever she would use this, it was a great way to use your leftover snack credits as souvenirs. So we would go to the hotel and just buy a bunch of like the Goofy gummy bears and just use the rest of our snack credits, and then you could just hand those out as souvenirs to your friends and family. So that is something of like, don't waste those snack credits.
Right.
Like use them where you can, but that's a place where like she was losing money technically because, you know, the gummy bears are like $2 where you could spend, you know, technically $6 on that cinnamon roll and get more of your money's worth. So that for us is the con of like, you got to make sure that you're using these credits in the right way.
And second one we have is kind of like what he was talking about. You really need to make sure that you are getting the bang for your buck. Like we talked about, don't get water when you could, and if you want to, have an alcoholic beverage. You could always, you know, you get free water in the park, so get a free water and then, you know, use your dining plan for something a little bit more expensive.
Yeah. One of the things that we were going to say is just recommendations to think about is ask yourself these questions. First one, like, are any of these sit-down meals important to me? Like, to our party, is this something we're going to actually enjoy? Do we want to go to Cinderella's royal table or not, right? So think about that. Do we want to do character dining? Is it that important for our family? That's an important question to ask. Another one is, do we even drink alcohol? So maybe you're not, you know, maybe you're not the type of person that drinks alcohol, and that's totally fine. And so that's something that you need to consider. You might not be getting your money's worth if you're not drinking alcohol. Will 1 or 2 quick service meals be enough for our family? So we already talked about sharing. Like, you know, it is for us that we can use these and share and have enough food throughout the day, but maybe it doesn't work out for you. And then will you even use the snack credits?
Yeah.
And that's going to be a big one that I think when we use this, because we're going to do a trial and error with it ourselves, but are the snack credits actually worth it now for 2024, right? And moving forward. So that's a big question to ask is, will you actually be the type of person that just wants ice cream or popcorn?
If it turns out that's all you get. If it turns out you do get other stuff, great.
Now, if you say yes to any of these, I think it's worth it, right?
Too,
like just the convenience alone of not having to worry about it is just nice. But if you're someone that's like, you know, I'm very picky on what I'm eating or where I'm going, then maybe it's not for you. So just something to think about.
Yeah, maybe if you have a lot of allergies and you're like, oh, ice cream and I can't have that and I can't have popcorn and I can't have this. Might not be worth it for you. We might want to sit down and talk about your options and where it would be best for you to eat.
That's a good point.
Yeah, another question that we know is going to be, if people are going to ask is, how are you going to keep track of it? You know, the last thing you want in your brain is like, okay, I don't even know what I ate yesterday. How are you going to remember that? So your dining plan usage is actually going to be linked to your reservation, and you'll be able to access it 3 different ways. So you can keep track of it on the My Disney Experience app, on your receipt, if you get a receipt and ask for one, and then asking your resort concierge or a cast member. So those are the 3 ways that you can figure out how much you have left. Plus, like we've said, if you book with us, we'll help you know specifically when you're going to use each one and give you a little bit more peace of mind so you don't have a bill at the end of the week.
Yeah. All right. So there you have it. That's the new Disney dining plan, the 2 different options. Is it worth it for you? Yes, no. Let us know in the comments down below. We would love to hear from you guys and what you think about this. And like I said, in the future, we're going to be trying this out ourselves just to see if it's worth it for us. And then we can always get back with you guys on that.
Thanks so much for coming to this video to learn more. And remember, if you're ready or thinking of a Disney vacation, go ahead and reach out to us at Third Wish Travel, where dream vacations are no longer wishful thinking. Best wishes, guys.
Best wishes. Bye, guys.
Still feel like it's there. Still in there.